Hello, you wonderful dreamers. Now, I know what you're thinking. I know what you're thinking, right? This isn't another fucking reboot on this channel, is it? You're not doing the Hollywood thing and rebooting again within the space of like 2 years. No, of course not. We're going to be doing something a bit different today. We're going to be doing something that I wanted to try and do for a little while, but I hadn't really thought of a good format for it. But I found some good reasons to go into it, so we're going to do that today. Just bear with me. This is going to be a little bit different from the normal stuff. I would suggest that if you're not familiar with Yume 2kki, this is not a good video to start with. This is for people who have seen a lot of what's in the game. If you've played, you know, hundreds of episodes of it on YouTube and you're just an arse and unpleasant, then, you know, this is definitely going to be up your street. So, you know, it's pretty much aimed at me. So if you're me, then you'll really enjoy this. But, yeah, if that sounds like your kind of thing, we're going to delve a little bit. We're going to look behind the curtain, if you will. We're going to do some things which are not conductive to normal play, that's what we'll say. So, in fitting with that, we're not going to start with the game itself, despite what you might be seeing here. Instead, we are going to look at this. Now, some of you who are reasonably keen on fan games will probably well know what this is. This is the actual RPG Maker utility, which you get when you install some versions of RPG Maker. You may have it on your machine, you may not. It's pretty easy to get hold of. And yeah, so in this you can see pretty much all the content and assets of the game. See all the maps on the left hand side. You can see this, which we were in last episode. But what's interesting about this, even if you don't want to, obviously if you were creating content, you could go in here. If you wanted to modify 2kki, you could do that as well. One of the things that's quite interesting about this, though, one of the things that makes it quite powerful if you're keen on Yume 2kki, is you can use it to find out some information. So I've brought up the changelog, which is of course in Japanese, and I'm opening it in something that doesn't support Unicode characters, so it looks like a fucking mess. But for example, scrolling down here, we can see this patch here, which is the most recent one, I think. Well, certainly the time of recording, as far as I can remember. We can see in this that there's a map referenced. Now we can if we wanted to, go into RPG Maker. We can see this map, but probably more interestingly than that, we can try and find out, well, how the fuck do you actually get here? Because, you know, these maps may be nested quite deep in the dream world. They're usually not, I mean, let's be honest. But you can see in here, there's a reference to map 036. Hopefully that's visible, and I might need to double check that. But yes, so it says teleport map 0356. Now this is an event editor. It shows you the script. If you click on pretty much anything that you can interact with in the dream world or anything like that, you will be able to see what the outcome of that would be. A lot of this is kind of cryptic because of the variable names and stuff are in Japanese, but you can generally get the gist of these things quite easily. So you can see this teleport thing. So if we look at map 0356, 0356, it's the Floating Stones world. So one way you could approach this information is, if you were trying to figure out where to go following an update and what's new, you could look in the editor and you could look at this. This would be a good way to do this. I personally have not really used it for that feature. I don't really see that as being in the spirit of Yume 2kki. I see that it is more about the exploration and things, and I think that if you do this, I suppose it's cheating, but in the same way that once you've got to the end of the game, you don't want to have to play through the whole game every time just to find the new content. So, you know, if you do see a patch and, you know, there's no information on the various forums and wiki and stuff about it, that's one way to look these things up. But what's also really interesting about this is you can see some other content that's in here. So, some of these areas you'll recognize as ones that we've visited in our own adventures on the channel. There's the cocktail world and stuff like that. Now, there's a particular one, this world here. Now, this is an interesting world, right? As far as I know, I say this a bit hesitantly because I'm a bit crap at video games and everything. As far as I know, this world is not accessible in normal play. It doesn't appear to be finished. There's a lot of stuff here which is just blank. You can see there's a long corridor, some other kind of bullshit here. Lots of stuff that just kind of goes up vertically. Now, when I was looking into this, I was trying to figure out, well, what the fuck is this? Trying to be like the elite hacker. And you can find out if you go, I think, is it here? No, sorry, it's not that one. This one. So you can see this links to 0652. So you can see 0652, but this is an area that we're reasonably familiar with. I mean, we've been everywhere in here, right? So where the fuck is this world? How do you get to it? You can see this little fella here. Now this fella is not, as far as I can see, accessible with normal play. He's sent out here in the fucking middle of the black, and if you look in the game, he is nowhere to be seen. You cannot reach him, whatever this thing is. I mean, it's kind of difficult to see. It looks like fucking alien light bulb, right? But you can see that it has the teleport event to where we want to go, right? But how do we get to him? As far as I can assume, he is there either to be reached using the debugging tools or something, or he's just there as some kind of placeholder, and eventually he will be put into the game world in some way. However, that wouldn't be very interesting for me to tell you about that, right? So what I've done, if we close this, is I took the liberty of breaking it a little bit. So what I did was I moved him into a space that we can actually reach in the game world. So if I just quickly switch back over to the other one, just to show you how he looks like when he's initialized. So he has random movement. This is how he moves in the game world. So I edited it so that he didn't do that, so that you'll see in mine that he's just set to stay still, so he shouldn't move around. Great. That's good, isn't it? Okay, well, in theory then, that means we should go and find him, right? Let's do it. Great, so here we go. We've started the game up through the editor. That's important, using the little run button. Now, you'll notice there's 3 different saves in here. We're going to use the bottom one, which I've ported from my kind of main adventures, so there's nothing too out of the ordinary about it at the moment. Let me just check something. Okay, great. Gotta go to sleep. Gotta go for a little nap, just like we would on any other day. Any other beautiful night like this one. And proceed on. We're gonna get some money. We might very well need that for what we're gonna try and accomplish. So it's I find this is like the kind of the uncharted territory of the game, which I find quite exciting. But I suppose some people might think, well, this stuff is not necessarily finished. You know, if the developers wanted us to see it, they'd probably let you get to it in some way. Whereas, you know, this is perhaps, we are definitely painting our own picture here. And you have to consider that anything you're going to see here is certainly not ready for mass consumption, but hey, there he is. There's the light bulb man. Let's talk to him. And here we are in this very quiet corridor with some nice lines on the side of it. Now, when I initially came in here, what I thought this was about, look at this face, is it was some kind of bank. Because look, you can do that and it makes a noise that sounds like, I don't know, something. This does nothing. You can go through here, but as you'll see, compared to how it was when we were looking at it in the editor, it looks quite different. In fact, you can't actually go anywhere. All the staircases and stuff that were visible on the right, not there. What you need to do is you need to deposit money into this fucking grinning clown nose dude here. Now we have 1,533 monies. That's not enough monies really, but we can at least feed him a little bit of money. So wow, that took a fucking massive chunk out of our bank account. But look at that. There's now a staircase. That means we can proceed up here and go in this door, which takes us to a dark and spoopy arcade. Great. Great. I'm glad that we put our money in that. Now, these arcade machines here make some fucking loud ass noises. But this little track here, I really dig. For whatever reason, you can adjust the pitch of it by talking to the different ones. But as far as things go, that kind of seems to be it. Nothing else here really seems to do much. We can lose even more of our money if we want. As if this wasn't already an expensive enough venture. Oh, that's interesting. That actually gave us money. Is this supposed to be like some kind of slot machine? The music in here is quite cool. It's interesting that it only seems to be here and isn't used anywhere else in the game. At least as far as I know, I've never heard it before. But other than that, and these strange looking benches, that's kind of it. Not a lot else going on in here. We can leave, of course. We can proceed further up the stairs, which takes us to this red door, which leads to this eye strain malarkey here. But further than that, as far as I can see, there's not a lot you can do. At least, that's what I'm saying for now. Can we even get out of here? Good, okay. But as you saw in the editor, there was more to this level. So what's that about? Alright, now we get to have a little bit of fun. So, what we're going to do is we're going to load this save here. Now this is a completely stock save. I'd literally just started a new game, watched the intro, and then saved. Didn't even do one dream. And I did that mainly because I didn't want to have to watch that fucking intro again, because it's long and quite loud, and I don't think it makes for a terribly interesting watching. Now, we are running the game through the editor again. This is important. This won't work if you don't do it through the editor. So if you're trying this at home and it doesn't work, make sure you're running it through the editor. Say it again, right? Now, when you're running in the editor, hold down left control on your keyboard, and you'll find that you can walk on Urotsuki's curtains. Isn't that great? Well, you can actually walk through just about any surface in a room, which is great. I mean, the ability to no-clip is always appreciated. But more importantly than that, if you no-clip through the door and then sort of piss around in this area on the right-hand side of the screen, eventually that'll happen. Now, as you can see in the bottom right, we are in debug mode. Debug mode brings with it a few interesting changes. So, one of the first ones that is quite powerful, is like your Swiss Army knife of debugging, is this new effect that you get, this star thing here. Now this contains within it a lot of useful tools that you can use to manipulate the game and to otherwise make your life a little bit easier. I'm only going to kind of run through them just now because they're not actually that important to us right now. So we can adjust our running speed all the way from Grandma Urotsuki default speed to holy balls, somebody get the camera speed, which is completely useless unless you are mental, because you can't actually move in like single squares. You can only move in 2 squares at a time. So it's, for most purposes, completely useless because you just move too fast. So we're going to turn that off. We'll go for the slightly more reasonable, slightly improved. These little bulbous things which have appeared, you can interact with these and it adjusts your day counter. I guess to allow people who are debugging it to test things, just in case you were curious. Some other options you can do in here. I'm not sure what these do. I do know what these do. This takes you to the Nexus. This takes you to the debug room, which we'll talk about in a minute. This, I believe, takes you back to your room, and this allows you to teleport to any arbitrary map ID, which would, in theory, allow us to do what we did previously regarding getting to that thing. But I think it's more interesting to show what the little dude was about, the guy in the middle of nowhere in the weird ravey hub area. Gives it a bit more context. But hey, this is all bollocks, right? You ever wonder what's outside Urotsuki's door? Well, let me show you. The debug room. So here we are. We are in the debug room. Now this has changed a lot over the years. If you've been playing Yume 2kki as long as I have, you'll have seen this room go through a lot of different iterations. Essentially, in the earliest versions, it was just these doors, this stuff here, and I think these effects. But now this has grown to become almost as interesting a world as some of the other bits of the game, which makes me wonder if they actually want people to come here or not, because there's so much in here, and there's so much dialogue as well, all of it in Japanese, so we're not going to talk about that. Things of interest though, we're going to do all get. That gives us all the effects, which will be useful, undoubtedly. But the main reason that we're here, the main reason that we have come here, is to allow us to continue our little investigation into that area, the sort of bank arcade area, whatever the hell it's called. So you talk to this little thing here. It allows you to define how much money you want. So you can just do this. You can just give yourself 999,000 monies. And that's it. We can now buy the casino and win the game. We'll finally get to see the true ending of Dream Diary. Isn't that good? It's very good. Some of these animations and these effects are really funny. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this here. Brilliant. I love all of this stuff. This is so funny. We're gonna explore this in a different video with a bit more detail. That's not the purpose of this video though. We will come back to this. So if we now do this, it takes us here, and then just like normal, we can jump on our bike. Old school way, because we haven't enabled the menu, because I'm a bit of a plonker. But now, if we return to the area we were in before, which is going via Valentine World, and go to the hub. I forget what that hub's called. Is it the Galaxy Hub? I think maybe Galaxy Hub sounds about right to me. Fucking loud heart hub. Zoom over here, talk to our light bulby friend, and then go on up. So it's worth mentioning that, in keeping, I suppose, with the style of the previous episodes of the Let's Play, which this, I guess, is running slightly separate to, this is to a degree blind. I have tried to keep some of the mystery of this mysterious, I guess. But now, so before we gave him 1,000 credits, now we're going to give him a fucking, we're going to make him a happy camper indeed. We're going to give him 900,000 credits. And hopefully, we'll get to exhibit some changes, and indeed we do. So there's this thing here. If we interact with that, a door is going to appear. We're not going to do that right now, just because I want to see what effect that has. But you can see now we can go further up. We've got this green space, which I'm very interested to see what's in here. Okay. Okay, good. Let's do one. Oh, wow. Okay. Good. Is that good? We didn't say to be able to move. Can we? We can't do anything. That's interesting. Okay, I guess 10 was the incorrect answer. I'm not really sure what to make of that. Let's do that. Yeah, it does that. We can't go in there though. I will try getting off the bike in case they're perhaps discriminatory to people who are of the bicycled variety. Okay, apparently that's not it. Best as I can see, there's no other notable changes in these areas, so we will just press onwards, like this space up here. So we went in that door, and we got escorted by two men into what looked like some kind of fucking oblivion. Oh look, it's a little face. Does that mean we need to solve the puzzle of the faces? Okay. Well, I guess we get another shot at it, and we just need to hope that we don't crash the game again. Here we go. Are we playing like curling? Bowls? I don't know what, if anyone will even know what the fuck I'm talking about. I like the number 99. It's a good number. In fact, yeah, let's do 99. Okay, we can move around. We're in the mask shop. Why are we in the mask shop? Hi. There's no masks here. Is that normal? We turn into Shadow Lady. Interesting. Very interesting. Let's just go back here. Okay. That's interesting, isn't it? That's very interesting. I don't know really what to say about that. Excellent! I thought that's what that would do. That saves a lot of running around. Let's just go back in here then. Would have done that in the first place, but you know, that's cheating, innit? Using our fucking super wacko Q godlike powers to just bolt around the dream world. Where's the fun in that, right? Where's the fucking fun in that? I don't know what this is. It looks like a very poorly drawn pizza. It could well be that. So, is this some way for us to trigger events? So we tried 99, it took us to the mask shop. I think we should try 42. 42 is a good number, isn't it? 42. Let's see if this is open. No. 42, mate. Let's do 42. Take me to your leader. Give him a 42. Number 42, please. We're back in the mask shop. Okay. What happens if we leave the mask shop? Do we end up in the... We do indeed. Okay. Alright, well that riddles that, I guess. Alright, we're gonna try one more thing, and then see if that... Well, in fact, we're gonna try a couple more things. We're gonna try a couple more things, just see what happens. It occurred to me that perhaps we should see if we can cut this dude's face up a bit. It's also worth remembering that you can kind of sprint, just like in the olden days. No. You can actually sprint around, going right back to like the start of my Let's Play. So that's a good bit of fun. We're gonna try one more combination. If this doesn't work, then I guess we're just gonna part this because feck knows what the hell this is supposed to be about. Okay, we can't move because there's a dude here. We can use the vending machine because I'm pretty certain we got enough money. Uh-oh. Oh yeah, that's the one that makes you sick, isn't it? Great. So is this some kind of event teleporter where you could teleport to random events? I don't know, guys. What do you think? Maybe if you suggest some numbers, I can give them a try. But hey, can we kill this guy? Let's try it. Well, I mean, yes, you can. What the feck was that? Why did that happen? I've never seen that before. I never just get normal drinks. Okay, you guys. We're pissing everyone off, aren't we? Wow. Can we just leave, perhaps? Yeah, I guess you can. How interesting. It's got a very strange atmosphere, this area. So, alright, we're gonna try one more because I'm curious. If it fucks up, then whatever. We're gonna try 16. Wow. Why is it taking us specifically to vending machines? I don't even remember there was a vending machine here. Can we... Yeah, they don't like that much, do they? And these silly faces. Silly faces. We're just upsetting, really. Upsetting in this otherworldly realm. Okay, so I think that's a good point to bring this to a close. We can maybe try some different combinations. Feel free to send them in. Maybe we'll do it next time. But this is to kind of get the ball rolling. So you've seen a little bit of the debug room. In the next episode, we're going to go there full force, and you're going to see some of the more mysterious elements of this game once you get past the core of it. Because there's actually quite a few interesting little things to see. Certainly beyond what we've just looked at today. So I hope this was interesting, and I will see you next time.